Tonight, Kim Jong Un appears to be going to new extremes to keep his secrets under wraps. Let's bring in Brian Todd.
In the midst of devastating floods ravaging North Korea, a world of hidden luxuries and unimaginable horrors lies uncovered. Kim Jong Un's luxurious lifestyle stands in stark contrast to the suffering of his people. From secret palaces and lavish lifestyles to the horrifying fate of those who dare to escape, uncover the shocking truths the regime hides. In this video, we reveal the secrets that Kim Jong Un doesn't want you to know. Join us. Section 1. Is Kim Jong Un alive? Recent events. In April, reports emerged that Kim had undergone emergency heart surgery. According to NK Daily, a South Korean news outlet focused on North Korean affairs, this news quickly spread within North Korea despite the high risk of arrest for discussing it openly. This secrecy is typical of the Hermit Kingdom, where information is tightly controlled by the state. When Kim missed the highly significant birth anniversary celebrations of his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, on April 15th, rumors about his grave condition or even death began to circulate widely. U.S. officials, including sources speaking to NBC News, indicated that Kim might be seriously ill, adding to the global concern. North Korean state media attempted to quell the rumors by releasing images and videos of Kim attending a ribbon-cutting ceremony at a fertilizer factory. However, many observers and analysts noted several discrepancies in these images. Jennifer Zhang, a Chinese dissident, and UK politician Louise Mensch pointed out differences in Kim's facial features, hairline, and dental structure. These differences led to speculation that the person in the photos might be a body double. Body doubles are not unprecedented in the world of politics. Historical figures like Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and even Saddam Hussein have used lookalikes for protection against assassination attempts. The practice continues today, with leaders like Vladimir Putin reportedly employing body doubles for security reasons. Given Kim Jong Un's prominent and precarious position, it wouldn't be surprising if he did the same. One specific detail that fueled the body double theory was a mark on Kim's wrist, believed to be from the heart surgery. This mark was absent in older photos but appeared in the new ones, suggesting a recent medical procedure. Some experts argued that the recent images were staged, pointing out that the fertilizer plant was hastily assembled just days before Kim's visit, according to sources cited by Daily NK, suggesting it was an orchestrated effort by the North Korean regime to dispel rumors about their leader's condition. Despite these speculations, recent frequent appearances by Kim Jong Un, particularly at military events, suggest that he is alive and actively leading the country. Nevertheless, the true status of Kim Jong Un remains a closely guarded secret, because in North Korea, what you see may not be what you get. Section 2. Kim Jong Un's world of luxury. The Korean dictator is known for his extravagant lifestyle, which stands in stark contrast to the poverty faced by many North Koreans. Despite international sanctions and economic hardships, Kim enjoys a life of luxury that few can imagine. Kim Jong Un's primary residence, the Ryongseong residence, is a sprawling compound featuring state-of-the-art amenities, including swimming pools and a private water park. He also owns several villas in Wonsan, each with its own marina and white sand beaches. Satellite images reveal luxurious cruise ships docked at these properties, complete with swimming pools and water slides. His fleet of luxury vehicles includes Mercedes-Benz and Rolls-Royce models, and he frequently travels in a private bulletproof train. Kim's love for fine dining is well documented. His obsession with Swiss cheese, particularly Emmental, is so intense that he sent his chefs to France in 2014 to master the art of cheesemaking. This love for exclusive foods extends to other delicacies as well. Kenji Fujimoto, Kim's former personal chef, revealed that Kim once consumed 10 bottles of Bordeaux wine in a single night. Bordeaux wines can range from $300 to $23,000 per bottle, highlighting his extravagant spending. Kim's luxury imports are not limited to food and drink. Reports indicate he spends nearly $1 million annually on Brazilian coffee and large sums on Scotch whiskey and Hennessy cognac. In 2019, nearly 1 million bottles of Russian vodka were imported into North Korea under his orders. His fondness for smoking is evident from his bulk orders of Marlboro cigarettes from the United States, despite leading an anti-smoking campaign in his country. While Kim lives in opulence, the average North Korean struggles with poverty and food shortages, and this contrast is particularly evident during times of crisis. During some severe food shortages, Kim reportedly gained significant weight, weighing over 300 pounds at one point, showcasing to what extent the regime prioritizes the elite's luxury over the populace's basic needs. Section 3. Assassinations ordered by the Supreme Leader. One of the most shocking aspects of Kim Jong Un's regime is the number of high-profile eliminations attributed to his direct orders. Perhaps the most infamous case is the assassination of his half-brother, Kim Jong Nam. This dramatic event took place on February 13, 2017, at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. Kim Jong Nam was attacked with a highly toxic VX nerve agent, a substance so dangerous that it's classified as a weapon of mass destruction. The assassination involved two women, Siti Aisyah from Indonesia and Doan Thi Huang from Vietnam, who were allegedly tricked into thinking they were part of a prank TV show. They smeared the lethal agent on Kim Jong Nam's face, leading to his death within minutes. Despite being quickly detained, the women eventually had their charges reduced, while 4 North Korean suspects fled Malaysia immediately after the incident, evading capture. Kim Jong Nam had been living in exile in Macau under the protection of Chinese authorities since his fallout with the North Korean regime in 2003. His outspoken criticism of North Korea's leadership and his potential as a rival to Kim Jong Un made him a significant threat. South Korean intelligence had long suspected that Kim Jong Un had a standing order for his half-brother's elimination, which had reportedly been attempted once before in 2012. This incident not only highlighted the lengths to which Kim Jong Un would go to secure his power, but also strained diplomatic relations between North Korea and Malaysia. North Korean officials vehemently denied their involvement, suggesting instead that Kim Jong Nam died of a heart attack, despite the clear evidence from the autopsy. This denial further fueled suspicions about the regime's role in orchestrating the assassination. Beyond Kim Jong Nam, Kim Jong Un has been linked to numerous other high-profile eliminations. In 2013, his uncle, Jang Song-taek, once considered the second most powerful man in North Korea, was arrested and executed on charges of treason and corruption. This move was widely seen as a ruthless effort to consolidate power and remove potential rivals. The regime's history of foreign operations includes several other notable incidents. In 1968, North Korean agents attempted to infiltrate South Korea's presidential residence to eliminate President Park Chung-hee. Although unsuccessful, the boldness of the operation underscored the regime's willingness to engage in extreme measures. Similarly, in 1983, an assassination attempt on South Korean President Chun Doo-hwan resulted in the deaths of 21 people, including several high-ranking officials. Section 4. The Next Heir. North Korea's enigmatic leader has managed to keep much of his private life under wraps. Yet some intriguing details about his family and potential successor have surfaced, offering a glimpse into the secretive world of the Kim dynasty. Kim Jong Un has been married to Ri Sol-ju, a former singer, since 2009. The couple is believed to have 3 children, born in 2010, 2013, and 2017. Despite this, only one child, his daughter Kim Ju-ae, has been seen in public. In November 2022, the world got its first look at Kim Ju-ae during a missile launch, where she appeared alongside her father. Since then, she has been featured in several public events, including military parades and official banquets. These appearances have sparked intense speculation about her future role, with many analysts suggesting she might be groomed as Kim Jong Un's successor. Kim Ju-ae's public presence is significant, especially in a regime that traditionally keeps its leaders' families hidden from view. Her appearances have been carefully managed, presenting her as a beloved and cherished child of the supreme leader. This has led some to believe that Kim Jong Un is subtly signaling her as his potential heir. However, the situation is complicated by the fact that Kim Jong Un's eldest child is believed to be a son. In North Korea's patriarchal society, a male heir would typically be favored for succession. Yet the son's identity remains undisclosed, perhaps because Kim wishes to protect his children from potential threats or to allow them a semblance of normalcy away from the public eye. Another interesting aspect of the succession discussion is the role of Kim Yo-jong, Kim Jong Un's sister. She is a prominent political figure and has been considered a potential leader should anything happen to Kim Jong Un. Her political experience and visibility make her a viable candidate, though the preference for a direct descendant could complicate her path to leadership. All in all, this carefully managed ambiguity allows Kim Jong Un to maintain control and flexibility over the future leadership of North Korea. As with many aspects of North Korean politics, the true intentions and plans remain shrouded in secrecy, leaving the world to speculate on the future of the Kim dynasty. Section 5. Barricaded windows in the Forbidden City. In the heart of Pyongyang, there's a secretive neighborhood known as the Forbidden City, reserved exclusively for Kim Jong Un and his inner circle. This area is highly fortified, and one of the most intriguing security measures implemented is the barricading of windows in hundreds of residential homes and hotel rooms. This drastic measure was first reported in 2019, when it was discovered through satellite imagery and sources within North Korea that significant changes had been made to the buildings in this area. The windows in these buildings have been covered with opaque materials, or one-directional slats, making it impossible to see inside from the outside. The reasons behind this are a mix of security concerns and the desire for extreme privacy. One compelling theory is that these barricaded windows are meant to thwart any potential assassination attempts. According to Dean Chung of the Heritage Foundation, hitmen typically seek high ground to target their victims, and blocking the windows would prevent anyone from having a clear line of sight into the buildings. By making it impossible to see into these residences, the regime ensures that any would-be attackers or spies are thwarted. Another theory suggests that the barricaded windows are a way to hide the opulent lifestyle of the North Korean elite from the general populace. The lavish living conditions of Kim Jong Un and his associates starkly contrast with the poverty experienced by most North Koreans. By blocking the view, the regime prevents the public from seeing the disparity, thus avoiding potential unrest or dissent fueled by visible inequality. The Forbidden City itself is a symbol of the regime's power and control. The neighborhood includes the headquarters of the Workers' Party of Korea and the State Affairs Commission. Recent satellite images have shown the construction of new mansions within this area, highlighting the luxurious lifestyle of the North Korean elite, even as the country faces severe economic hardships. You might wonder just how extravagant Kim Jong Un's life is. Reports indicate that he owns over 100 luxury cars, private jets, yachts, and even a private island. A 2013 investigation by the US and South Korea uncovered over $5 billion in assets spread across 200 foreign bank accounts linked to Kim's family. Maintaining this lifestyle costs an estimated $2 million daily, excluding military expenses. Today, Pyongyang's Forbidden City remains one of the most mysterious and tightly controlled places in the world, hidden from the prying eyes of the outside world and even from the North Korean populace. Section 6. The fate of those who try to escape. One of the most harrowing and lesser-known aspects of North Korea is the extreme measures people take to escape the country, as well as the severe consequences they face if caught. Here's a mother and daughter duo whose story was captured on video. Filmed from China, the footage shows the pair attempting to cross a frozen river to reach safety. They bribed a North Korean guard to aid their escape, but were spotted by other guards during their journey. The video captures the heartbreaking scene of the daughter jumping and crying, fully aware of their fate. They were arrested and faced the grim prospect of being sent to one of North Korea's notorious labor camps. In these camps, conditions are harsh, and the regime's policy of 3 generations of punishment ensures that their entire family would also be imprisoned, instilling fear and ensuring compliance among the population. Another compelling story is that of the Roh family, documented in the film Beyond Utopia. The family, which included small children and an 80-year-old grandmother, embarked on a life-threatening journey through the Changbai Mountains of China. Their route to freedom was fraught with dangers, including the constant threat of capture and extradition back to North Korea. Despite these extreme risks, their determination to escape the oppressive regime highlights the lengths to which North Koreans will go for a chance at a better life. Then there's the story of Shin Dong-hyuk, one of the few known escapees from a North Korean political prison camp. Born and raised in the notorious Camp 14, Shin endured unimaginable hardships, including torture and forced labor. In 2005, he managed a daring escape by climbing over an electrified fence. Shin's journey to freedom involved crossing the Tumen River into China and eventually reaching South Korea. His story, detailed in the book Escape from Camp 14, sheds light on the brutal conditions within North Korea's labor camps and the extreme measures taken by those seeking freedom. Section 7. North Korea's Prison System. Hell on Earth. North Korea's prison system is one of the most brutal and secretive in the world. Known for its harsh conditions, forced labor, and systemic human rights abuses, these prisons are designed to instill fear and maintain absolute control over the population. North Korea operates two types of prison camps: Kwanliso, or political prison camps, and Kyowaso, or re-education camps. The Kwanliso camps are reserved for those accused of political crimes and their families, as part of the regime's 3 generations of punishment policy, ensuring entire families are imprisoned to instill fear and control within the population. In these camps, prisoners are subjected to extreme conditions, forced to perform grueling labor in dangerous environments such as mines and farms. The work is never-ending, and the food rations are minimal, often leading to severe malnutrition and high mortality rates. It's estimated that up to 40% of prisoners pass away from starvation or related illnesses. Reports from former prisoners and guards describe a regime of relentless mistreatment. Prisoners are routinely mistreated for minor infractions, subjected to forced medical procedures, and denied health care when they need it. The camps are also usually located in remote, isolated areas, making escape nearly impossible and ensuring that the outside world remains unaware of the full extent of the conditions within. On the inside, they're designed to break the spirit of inmates, ensuring they pose no threat to the regime's stability. Being a prison guard in North Korea is considered a relatively good job due to the high salary and benefits compared to the average wage in the country. Guards can earn between $1,400 and $2,000 annually, which is significantly higher than the average North Korean income. This higher pay, along with psychological manipulation and the promise of food and other resources, motivates individuals to take on this role. The collapse of the Soviet Union and reduced aid from China have worsened poverty, pushing more people to take such jobs. The international community has condemned North Korea's prison system, with numerous reports detailing the human rights abuses. The United Nations and various human rights organizations have called for accountability and increased pressure on the regime to end these atrocities. Despite this, the North Korean government continues to deny the existence of these camps and refuses to cooperate with international investigations. Section 8. Kim Jong Un's ballistic weaponry. North Korea's ballistic missile program under Kim Jong Un has become one of the most advanced and concerning in the world. But his missile program, while a crucial element of North Korea's defense strategy, is also a reflection of his intense personal fears. Last year, an explosion rocked Pyongyang, North Korea's capital, sparking a dramatic increase in Kim Jong Un's security measures. Following this incident, Kim's security detail began using ballistic proof bags and briefcases made of advanced carbon fiber. This material, known for its strength and lightweight properties, helps protect the supreme leader from potential threats. The explosion has fueled various theories, as some suggest that it was a desperate attempt by North Korean citizens to steal food by creating a diversion, while others believe that the dictator himself might have orchestrated the explosion to justify his heightened security measures. Under Kim's leadership, North Korea has accelerated its missile development, testing various types, including short-range, intermediate-range, and intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. One of the most notable advancements is the Hwasong-18, an ICBM capable of carrying multiple warheads. This missile's design allows it to overcome missile defense systems and strike with precision, increasing their threat level. For Kim Jong Un, the ballistic missile program serves multiple purposes. Domestically, it strengthens his regime's image as a powerful and technologically advanced state. Internationally, it acts as a deterrent against perceived threats and enhances North Korea's negotiating leverage. Despite severe economic sanctions and internal hardships, the missile program demonstrates North Korea's commitment to maintaining a formidable defense. Despite these strides, North Korea faces significant hurdles. Ensuring reliable re-entry capabilities for multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles and overcoming technical limitations are ongoing challenges. Additionally, North Korea's reliance on external support, possibly from countries like Russia, could impact the program's future progress. As international tensions rise, this program remains a central issue in global security discussions. Section 9. Hairstyles. When it comes to hairstyles in North Korea, the concept of personal choice takes a back seat to state control and leader worship. One of the most striking examples of this is the phenomenon surrounding Kim Jong Un's haircut. You might find it fascinating to learn that the dictator's signature haircut has become a national symbol, and not in the way you'd expect. Characterized by a short, slicked back style with a distinctively high, flat top, this hairstyle has not only become a symbol of his leadership, but also a tool of state control. In 2014, the North Korean government made headlines by recommending that all students adopt this very haircut. The idea was to create a unified appearance among the youth, reflecting loyalty and solidarity with their leader. While there's no official law mandating this cut, it's clear that the state promotes it heavily. Between 2004 and 2005, North Korean television even aired a series titled Hairstyles for a Socialist Life. This program was a part of a broader campaign to enforce a specific aesthetic that matched the regime's ideals, and the show included guidelines on how frequently to get haircuts and what lengths were acceptable, proving how seriously the state took this issue. What's more, North Korean authorities took this obsession with haircuts to a whole new level. The media has been known to shame individuals who don't comply with these hairstyle norms. If someone is spotted with a haircut that doesn't align with state recommendations, their name, where they live, and where they work might be published to publicly embarrass them. This kind of public shaming serves as a powerful tool to enforce conformity and demonstrate the consequences of defying the state's expectations. Kim Jong Un's influence over hairstyles illustrates a larger phenomenon: the creation of a cult of personality. No other country quite enforces such a stringent control over personal appearance as North Korea does. It's a way to ensure that everyone, from the youngest students to adults in the workplace, demonstrates their allegiance through their very appearance. Section 10. North Korean propaganda. North Korea is known for its extreme and elaborate propaganda, which serves as a powerful tool for shaping public perception and controlling the narrative about the outside world. But one striking example of North Korean propaganda is their portrayal of the United States. If you've ever wondered why North Koreans have such a negative view of the US, it's because of what their media tells them. For example, North Korean TV has aired videos depicting Americans in a truly bizarre and false light. In these propaganda pieces, you might see Americans living in depressing conditions, with people supposedly sleeping in body bags and drinking coffee made from snow. These images are designed to suggest that Americans are homeless and struggling, all while living in a harsh, snow-covered environment. In reality, this is a gross distortion of the truth. Why does North Korea do this? The regime uses such propaganda to create a stark contrast between their own supposed utopia and the so-called hell of the outside world. By portraying the United States as a land of misery, North Korea aims to reinforce the idea that life under Kim Jong Un is far superior. It's a tactic designed to suppress any potential discontent among the population by convincing them that their hardships are minimal compared to the dire conditions elsewhere. Moreover, the North Korean government controls access to outside information very tightly. The vast majority of citizens have little to no exposure to the real world beyond their borders, which means that the lies and distortions presented by state media are often taken at face value. Most North Koreans who have never seen the outside world for themselves genuinely believe the fabricated images and stories they are fed. Section 11. His $1,000 Portofino watch. When it comes to making a statement, Kim Jong Un doesn't shy away from flaunting his wealth and style, even in the face of international sanctions. Among the most striking symbols of this defiance is his $10,000 IWC Portofino automatic wristwatch. Let's dive into why this particular accessory has become a focal point of intrigue and controversy. In 2019, Kim Jong Un made headlines not just for his political maneuvers, but for his choice of wristwear. Amid heightened tensions with the United States and ongoing sanctions aimed at curbing luxury imports into North Korea, he was seen wearing a Patek Philippe Calatrava, a timepiece valued at around $10,000. The political context meant that this was a lot more than a fashion statement, and more like outright defiance. The background to this incident is intriguing. North Korea has been under stringent international sanctions for years, particularly after its nuclear and missile tests. These sanctions include bans on luxury goods, including high-end Swiss watches. The aim was to pressure the regime by cutting off access to luxury items that the leadership could flaunt while the general population struggled with economic hardships. Hence, Kim Jong Un's choice to publicly display such an expensive watch amidst these sanctions speaks volumes. What's more, he did it in the middle of a missile test, a high-profile event meant to showcase North Korea's military might, while millions of people in the country suffer and starve. But the display didn't stop there. In the same year, Kim opened a high-end store in Pyongyang, modeled after Western department stores, showcasing not only watches but also high-end perfumes and other expensive items. It's a sour reminder that while the average North Korean might be struggling, the country's elite, including its supreme leader, continue to live in luxury, parading their wealth with absolutely no fear of consequences. Section 12. Control of knowledge. North Korea's control over knowledge is one of the most extreme examples of information manipulation in the world. The regime's grip on what people can read, watch, and even think is heavily enforced, creating an environment where knowledge is tightly controlled and censored. One of the most shocking aspects of this control is the regime's stance on religious texts. In North Korea, reading the Bible is not just discouraged, it is punishable. The government views religious texts, particularly Christianity, as a threat to its power and ideology. Those caught with a Bible can face severe punishment, including imprisonment or worse. This extreme measure highlights how the regime tries to suppress any source of information that could challenge its authority or introduce alternative viewpoints. North Korea's approach to the internet is equally stringent. Unlike most countries where the internet is a gateway to global information, North Korea has its own isolated network known as the Kwangmyong. This domestic intranet offers a limited selection of state-approved websites, which means that North Koreans are cut off from the rest of the world's knowledge. They cannot access the global internet, where vast amounts of information, both factual and diverse, are freely available. To further control and monitor the flow of information, North Korea employs a device called the Woolim. This device is installed on computers and smartphones, and it monitors users' activities. It takes screenshots whenever an app is opened, allowing the government to keep track of what information is being accessed and shared. This invasive surveillance ensures that any attempt to exchange or access unauthorized information is detected and punished. Foreigners visiting North Korea face strict restrictions as well. They are not allowed to connect to the Kwangmyong network. This isolation ensures that even visitors are prevented from accessing local information, making it impossible for them to gain insight into the true state of affairs in the country. Another example of North Korea's information control is its strict censorship of media and literature. All newspapers, books, and films are subject to government review before they can be published or broadcasted to ensure that only pro-regime content is available to the public. In North Korea, knowledge is power, and the regime's power lies in its ability to control what people know, how they know it, and what they are allowed to believe. Thanks for watching another episode. Click the next video on your screen for more.